Welcome to Succeed Services Tutoring. Our deep dive today is going to be paper 2, question 1 for English language AQA GCSE. So get your pens ready. So first I want you to write down what is question 2, paper 1 all about. Okay. So this is the first question in our section A of our paper, which is our reading section. It is worth 4 marks, okay? So the least number of marks for the paper. And it is a true or false situation. So you have to choose 4 statements, in this case, which are true, from lines 1 to 7 of source A. Okay, so they will tell you the source to look at, they will tell you the lines to look at, and they will tell you whether you need to decide what is true or what is false. Okay, and circle those accordingly. How long should you spend on question 1? So pause it here and think about how long you should spend. Okay, are we ready? 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. Okay, you should spend the least amount of time on question 1 on both papers. Okay, and make sure you've read through the text before starting any questions. You should spend 10 minutes at the start of the exam reading the text, especially for paper 2 where you have 2 texts. So what is it asking me to do? It's asking you to identify information. Okay, so it's testing or assessment objective number 1. Okay, which means identify and interpret explicit and implicit information. Explicit is information which is really obvious. So if I said Tommy is 7 years old, and then I ask you what Tommy's age is. Implicit is like reading between the lines. What's the hidden meaning? Yeah. What is the writer trying to achieve? So you need to read the paper and decide which statements are true in this case. Okay, now remember, you only have 4 choices. So what do you need to remember? Okay, this is the important bit. The question asks you to look at specific lines. Don't waste your time reading outside those lines. Only circle 4 answers, okay? Make sure you've read the text and those lines specifically in detail before you start answering the question. And don't spend too long. 4 correct answers is 4 marks. Let's do an example. So gather all your materials. It says on the screen what you'll need. Okay, when you get into the exam, the first thing you're going to do for question 1 is highlight which lines it asks you to look at and whether it's asking you to look at something that is true. You're going to circle true and lines 1 to 7 in this case. Okay, this is going to focus your attention so you really are looking for the right pieces of information. Make sure on your text piece as well, on your text piece of paper, that you highlight the lines it asks you to look at, okay? So you make sure that you know the lines in the question paper and you know the lines on the text paper. Now, I want you to take 5 minutes to write down your answers. So pause the video here, take 5 minutes, and then come back to it. Okay, here are the answers. Now, quite often the first few are really obvious, and usually there's one that's a little bit trickier. If you get stuck, cross off the ones you definitely know aren't right. Okay, and then when you're down to 2 or 3, reread the text. Okay, comment below how many you got right first time. So, the question is asking you to identify information, which is true or false. Only spend 5 minutes, and if you get stuck, reread the set lines. Okay, if you have any questions, comment them below. And if you need help with your revision, make sure you check us out, okay? We offer lots of different services to cater to individuals. Best of luck.